Hello, everybody, for Saturday, August 8th. Wow. Anyway, just read a news item, some of the kind of online magazine uh, that really follow not so much the politics, but the culture and the life of Egyptian in Egypt, and they do a good job. But the news item says a woman says she was kicked out of Egyptian restaurant for praying, and the restaurant suspended the employees who did that. And you see this a lot these days. One of those fancy modern places, malls or clubs or restaurants, whatever. Uh, they stop people they suspected, and not just threat or terrorism or safety issue. No, they kind of uh, not uh, fitting the image what those places want to be modern, secular, cute Islam. And when I visit Egypt, I've seen this myself. I mean, and I have you know three or four brothers, a big beard, and the wives and kids, wearing hijab, one wearing niqab, and they've been kicked out of clubs, even military club. In Egypt, there is a lot of military club in Egyptian military involved in so many things, wedding halls and events and clubs and restaurants. And one of those brother was, a veteran. He was, you know, a first lieutenant, and he was retired at the time, but he has a beard, and they stopped his wife, and unless we get him to go and call the head of the club and the head of whatever, eventually we get through. But in some places, absolutely adamant about not letting those bearded men in, or the hijabi wives. Or but anyway, but this has just happened. Uh, I think it was yesterday, and amazing how people the comment on those on that piece of news, and a lot of people they blaming the woman. Why can't she go and pray in a designated area in the mall? And by the way, the mall's called Mall of Arabia, based on a Mall of America. So it's just tell you, I don't know what Mall of Arabia is. Lawrence of Arabia, Mall of Arabia, everything, a lot of things now, new places, modern places, they use English names or what have you. And even on menu, there's just English name or French or whatever. And I would say more than 80% of Egyptian women, they wear hijabs. I mean, everywhere, everybody. I know a few new generation, but hijab is very common in Egypt. And stopping people from coming to a place because wear a hijab, you're cutting down on a lot of potential customers, even if we look at it from that perspective. But I mean, Egypt is Egypt. May God help them, and they are confused. They don't know who they are, the identity, Arab, Muslim, pharaohs, African. They just country with the most confused identity, especially in the last after the post the revolution. I mean, it's amazing how people kind of lashing on anything, and that's why they're lashing on football. This is the only arena that they can belong to because they don't know who they are. They're just Arab, not Arab. We're not black. We're not African. We're pharaohs. Cleopatra is not black, and you see this crazy stuff. But anyway, forget about that. We're not there in Egypt. But I remember here at a coffee shop I go to on a regular basis, And I know the owner, very lovely man and artist and music and open. It's a safe place for us, and we go there a group. We meet about seven, eight different people every Friday or whatever. And he told me, "Sami, may I ask you something, Ahmed? I'm very embarrassed, and I want to share this. When I want to ask you what you, so what's the matter?" He said, "I have this young Somali. He comes, almost every day, and he just put down a rug and he start praying in the corner and loud and it takes almost 10, 15 minutes and people start staring and complaining and we don't know exactly and I don't know what to tell them and I don't know where to start. So I said, well, let me see. I mean, now when I have to, I have to wait until I see him. One day, I sitting there coffee shop with a friend, and here comes this big Somali American. I've never seen a Somali American that big. I think mostly was American. It was just, this guy must be second generation and more Americanized than any Somali I've ever seen. So he started put same thing. Went to the corner, put drugs over there, and start praying. So I waited and I waited and I waited, and usually pray the longest prayer, is just like 5 minutes, maybe less, but it took forever. So I approach him and stand there, and he kind of sense anyway. But he's waited and waited until he finished his prayer, and I say, "How you doing?" Introduce myself or whatever, and explain to him, this is not the place for praying, this. Well, I can pray for, and I can pray whatever I want. This is Islam. Are you stopping me from praying? Are you stopping from me praying? I can pray anything. And Sayyidina Muhammad, oh my God, this guy was on a crusade like this. Like Islam just started in, in Arabia, and you need to declare, and I mean, Islam is everywhere, man. We have 2 billion Muslims, and every mosque, we have about 50 mosques. And this is not like will prevent you from praying, just I'm telling you, no, I can pray. And I just, the guy is so loud and everybody's looking at us. And I thought for a while, and there is a hall here, there's a building, there is a mosque nearby, about across the street. You could pray there. I can, no, this is not, I pray. So I know I'm not going to go away. I'm going to get any way with this guy. And so I said, this place is negus. And negus means not dirty in the material things. Negus means, when you pray, you have to be purified. You have to uh, spiritually purify. Negus, you can be spiritually dirty, just. So what do you mean? I said, this place allow dogs, and dogs roam around all places. And that place you pray on, there is dogs there and walked around. And haven't seen this man back ever since. He was just gone. That's, it's not fearful of the dog. It's just, when Muslims go to pray, they have to watch physical water, and also spiritually. They prepare yourself. They're gonna communicate and talk to with God. So you have to be uh, clean and pure and if dog touches you, you have to go and wash and do all those things. And this man, young man, God knows where he's praying now. I'm assuming praying in a place where there is no dog show up. That is all the rant, and I'm gonna say today, please subscribe, become a member, follow, and it is complicated.